Hi everyone, welcome to today's book discussion. So today we'll be discussing the book Tomorrow I Become a Woman by Aiwanose Odafen. I really do hope I called the name properly. So Tomorrow I Become a Woman. This book annoyed me. I don't know how to sing this again, but it was really crazy having to read this book because women. There's always something with women and suffering, especially in African books, especially in cultural related books. There's just it's like it's a deal that the woman must suffer. These characters suffered a lot, but in order not to deviate from the particular issues we've actually outlined to discuss on this segment, let's just go straight to the point. First of all, must a woman always suffer in the name of endurance in a marriage? Is it is it a norm that you must suffer before you can enjoy your marriage? I would really like to know. Secondly, why do people change? You know, the character married her husband as a singer in the church. He seemed like a good man. You get, he was one who was there for her in a way. At the beginning, he seemed like a brother that wouldn't hurt a fly. And at the end of the day, he became the puncher, he became the beater, he became the aggressive husband. Why do people change? What prompts people to change once they've actually gotten married to the person? Now, I'm not speaking I'm not actually in support of any gender. This is not a gender sensitive issue. This is a human sensitive issue. That is to say, it happens to the male, it happens to the female. Why do people change for bad after marriage? There are people who have seen things like this and they say, when we're getting married, he never used to be like this. He became like this ever since we got married. Why is this always the story? Again, what does your church say about divorce? Now, I am a practicing Catholic by faith, and my church is actually not, my faith rather, is not in support of a divorce, but they rather grant you separation. They believe that there should not be divorce in a marriage. Now, for what I believe, I actually believe that if it's not working, you can go. That's my opinion. If it's not working, if you've tried everything, if you've exhausted all options, you can go. But we've seen faiths and religions that do not encourage divorce. So in instances like this, what do you advise the victims to do when the church is always finding ways to teach them on how to be the submissive woman, how to keep their husbands, how to keep their mouths closed, how not to annoy their husbands? What do we tell those women who have decided to listen to the reasoning that they feel is best? And this reasoning is telling them to manage, endure, bear it. Marriage is not for the faint hearted. Men are the same elsewhere. You know, excuses upon excuses. I'd really like to know, what does your own church or religion say about divorce, domestic violence? This is another pertinent issue in the book, Tomorrow I Become a Woman. Domestic violence. When you marry an abusive man, or when you marry a man who later becomes abusive, there is always the tendency that your children will see these things, feel these things, and will not be protected from this, no matter how hard you try. In the book, we see the male character hit his daughter so hard she was in the hospital, like she was almost dead. And there was no remorse for it. And there was really no remorse for what he did. You know, you're meting out your anger on your wife, on your children, and no remorse. So when you tend to stay in an abusive environment or an abusive relationship or an abusive friendship, thinking, oh, I would protect my children, they wouldn't know. They see these things, they know these things. In as much as they do not know how to fully put their words together, they know because they grow up so fast to be able to endure pain because they've seen their loved one endure something similar. This should not be the norm. This is not how life is meant to be lived. We are meant to be happy. We are meant to prosper. Yes, trials and tribulations may come, but not something that will cost your life, not something that will make you bedridden, not especially a man or a woman who would deform you in the name of love. That is not love. That is not love at all. The author also, in a way, focuses on war and its losses. Most of the books I've read back to back this period have actually had certain things in common. War, most especially the Civil War, and the losses, the effects on the survivors, the post traumatic stress disorder, the anxiety that comes from having lost someone to uncertainty. You don't know if the person is dead, you don't know if the person is alive. Those who came back from the war alive are not really living like human beings because they they see things, they see things. There's a lot of reality, a lot of unreality attached to their reality. I'm actually trying to look for the word. So in circumstances like this, it's really, really cannot be overemphasized that war is not the answer. And for those who sit in their houses and beat the drums of war, knowing fully well that they have alternative sources for how they have chosen to escape or to live their life. For example, currently, Niger Republic and the other West African states are thinking of going to war. This is not just between two countries. This is going to affect everyone. This is really, really going to affect everyone. Everyone is bothered. Everyone is worried. People with families in these countries, other indigenes who have gone to this other country as well to look for a means of livelihood, do not know what awaits them if they go to war. War is never the answer. The losses are far greater than the advantages. So if you can, avoid a war by all means. Another issue discussed by the author is the case of children, gender identified children. When a man has just sons, he is referred to as a man. When another man has just daughters, they say he's not yet a man. And we saw in the book how a character, in trying to seek for a male child, put her life on the line. Children are children. Sons, daughters are all children. No gender is greater than the other. At the end of the day, what defines us is not gender. What defines us is our humanity. So why are we so focused? And the painful thing in all of this is, as at now, currently, with the rate of westernization, it is still a problem. People do not want to have just female children. They tend to feel like there is something not, there is something missing from what they are supposed to have when they have just female children. They want to have only male children. Children are children. In another vein, the author admonishes us to live in order to live. When you are in an abusive relationship, friendship, or marriage, there is every possibility that your tomorrow is not guaranteed. So know when to draw the lines, know when to shut the curtains, know when to live with your life. For you are you, and there is nobody else who can be like you. And that is your superpower. Marriage does not define us. Most especially, a toxic marriage does not define you. Love will find you. Love will always find you. Happiness is yours for the taking, for the giving. So if you're not having all of this, and if you're in an abusive relationship where tomorrow it is one ear, the day after it is one eye, the author admonishes us to leave. Tomorrow I will become a woman. And tomorrow I know the things that I will take and the things that I will not. And I hope you do too. Thank you for coming to today's discussion. I hope you have a very nice day. Bye.